So commentary's biggest lolcow, Tipster, has just announced his official permanent retirement from YouTube, and he purged his entire catalog of videos from all social media platforms. Now today I wanna go over the retirement announcement, discuss what made Tipster give up on his channel, show you how in my opinion his online career was always doomed to fail, and give you guys my reasoning on why I believe that despite what he's currently saying, Tipster will 100% come back to YouTube in a few months at the latest. Now I am certain that I could sit here and create a wonderful retrospective compilation video of all of Tipster's terrible takes, embarrassing leaked DMs, and insane shenanigans he got up to throughout the past years. And I would probably get universal support because it's just easy. Tipster is just an easy target. However, I don't think I even need to, because Tipster is the kind of person that is so universally disliked that if you type his name onto YouTube, you will see a bunch of documentary videos calling him a lolcow and commentary's biggest failure before you're even able to find his channel. So I don't think it's necessary to go over all of Tipster's antics here. Essentially all that you need to know is Tipster was a commentary channel who uploaded uncut, low-effort news videos covering trendy topics. Over the past 6 years or so, he managed to somewhat gain an audience simply through consistently being one of the first people to cover developing situations. Now he's currently sitting at just over 100k subs, which is really interesting because when I first covered him on my channel a couple of years back, he had 113k, and that just goes to show you how deeply unpopular Tipster actually is, since so many people went out of their way to specifically go to his channel and hit unsubscribe. I think it's heavily likely that he will even drop under the 100k sub mark soon. Now Tipster's content quality has always stayed the same and never evolved past basic 2010 style rants. His videos always consisted of him sitting in front of his PC talking with no real editing. At first he spoke on video games, I believe, then he started doing tech reviews, and eventually he shifted to commentary, which is where his channel actually started growing. Now during 2020 I first noticed Tipster through his commentary videos, and I saw that at the time he was actually supported by most of the commentary guys, which did annoy me quite a bit, to be honest, because I really did not like Tipster at all from the start. I can confidently state that in every single drama Tipster has ever been directly involved in, I wasn't on his side. Like, I could maybe pinpoint one instance where I sort of felt like he was being treated unfairly, and that was during his beef with H3H3, because the Ethan Klein audience immediately jumped to calling him disgusting looking, which did infuriate me quite a bit, because these are the same type of people that will pretend to be like body positive and not engage in that sort of behavior, but the moment someone makes an actual critical video about Ethan Klein, they just jump to making fun of people's appearances immediately. Like, that just didn't sit right with me, and I know that I personally highly likely would have also made fun of Tipster's appearance as well, but I'm not being hypocritical here because it's the context of these H3H3 fans virtue signaling that they're better than this and that they would never do this, but then just doing it anyway that's pissing me off here. Like, at least I'm not pretending to be above this. Regardless, I think partially you can blame the initial lack of critical videos against Tipster on there just being a lot of controversial creators in the commentary community during that time who were taking away the spotlight from Tipster and his degeneracy, but I still can't really wrap my head around the fact that this guy had any support to begin with. Cause don't get me wrong, I believe that people should be judged by their actions and not by their appearance. But, and I know that this is gonna be a very unpopular take and a lot of you will jump to the comments calling me names again, but I have to say this because it's my honest opinion, I think there's a limit to that. I think if you look completely deranged and have the general appearance of someone who just has no idea what they're doing in life, and you look like you obviously lack basic hygiene, I think it's fair to judge you based on appearance alone. Now don't get me wrong here, if Tipster turned out to just drop banger video after banger video and went around owning everyone with his content, I would eventually look past his appearance and give him a chance. But I do think it's fair to just assume that this guy's gonna be a liability based on appearance alone. I mean, we're talking about a morbidly obese man who spends his entire day in his action figure packed room and self-admits to being a complete alcoholic. Actually, now that I think about it, he does kind of remind me of someone. Anyway, so that's essentially what my issue with Tipster and the commentary community was back then. I made a whole video about it, and again, you can call me a massive dick for saying everyone should have just never given this guy a platform based on his appearance alone, but I'm just being honest. Like, I would have seen this guy post pictures of himself drinking copious amounts of alcohol every single single day, and never in a million years would I have then platformed him. Like, there's no way I would ever trust such a person to be a competent creator. And you know, I turned out to be right in the end, cause he did become a complete lolcow, exposed for his cringy behavior, defending of Lolly and his apparent infidelity to his wife. Anyway, so after the bad apples of the commentary community got ousted, people started to notice Tipster's increasingly unhinged and cringe behavior, which caused pretty much everyone to disavow him immediately, and he in return fled to the far left side of the internet, where he found shelter with people such as Keffels. Now obviously his association with controversial left-wing figures really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and combined with his increasingly desperate actions and unwillingness to improve his content, it led to a lot of people just unsubscribing and other commentary channels dogpiling on the guy, culminating in the release of the, in my opinion, only ever successful commentary channel Disstrack by Turkey Tom, and the eventual decline and subsequent collapse of Tipster's channel. But even before he gave up, he already experienced constant sub loss and a massive decline in viewership. Now obviously, since Tipster was actively losing subs and his viewership kept on getting smaller and smaller, he has now made the decision to just give up, which I do understand partially. I mean, he was just constantly getting shit on every single day, and if he wasn't, he just didn't get any attention at all, which must have been pretty frustrating. I mean, at this point we had essentially reached the Tipster self-deprecation era, where he was just out here constantly feeling bad for himself on social media every single day, posting things such as, "A friend today told me that they look up to me. Why? What is there to look up to? I'm a failure in every way possible." Now this is the classic sympathy baiting tactic. He wants people to comment under this post with things such as, "No Tipster, you're not a failure, you're a famous YouTuber and you have a great BMI." But it's obviously not gonna work at this point. Everyone knows that Tipster is a massive failure in life as well as on YouTube. I mean, judging by the views he got in his final months on the platform, he definitely wasn't making a lot of money, and in a rare moment of acknowledging reality, he posted his retirement announcement. "I've always said that the day YouTube was no longer fun for me would be the day I'd retire. I believe that time has finally come. Over the past 18 plus years..." Okay, I gotta stop this right here. Is this guy saying he's been making content for 18 years? I mean, it's really hard to tell because he constantly privates and deletes his old content, but if this is true, then it puts his downfall into perspective. He's managed to destroy something that he's apparently dedicated almost 2 decades of his life to. That is honestly just sad. And it becomes even worse when you realize all of this could have been avoided if he simply logged off Twitter and improved his content. Over the past 18 years, I've dedicated a significant amount of my time to creating content on this channel, covering a wide range of topics from gaming and technology to trending news, drama, and more recently, progressive politics. I've accomplished a lot, that's a lie, and had the privilege of meeting and collaborating with many incredible people. It's been an amazing journey, but I've come to realize that it's time for me to move on and leave on somewhat of a high note. Okay, you are not leaving on somewhat of a high note. You are at the lowest point of your career, if we can even call it that. Your channel is completely dead, and all of your former associates have rightfully written you off as a loser and a freak. You're barely even making money off YouTube anymore. You clearly are not leaving on a high note. The only reason you probably are leaving is because you realize that you're so hated that you have no chance of building yourself an actual profitable online career anymore, so you just gave up instead. But before we continue, if you're enjoying the content, then please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1.5k subs this month, and I know we can do it. We're so close. And don't forget, if we reach that goal, I'll do a massive Q&A special answering all your questions, no matter how unhinged. So make sure to leave some down below. Anyway, back to the video. The landscape has changed drastically since I started. Many of the aspects that initially drew me to the platform and its community are no longer present. As I've grown older, my interest in continuing to create content on YouTube has fallen off quite a bit, and I continually find myself less interested in the types of content that have gained popularity on the platform. So after much consideration, I've come to the conclusion that it's time for me to bid farewell. Now let me translate this section for you. What he means by saying that he doesn't like making the commentary content that is popular nowadays is actually that he hates putting effort into his content. See, Tipster just presses record and starts talking into his mic. Now that's the type of video that maybe would have worked 10 years ago, but nowadays that just isn't gonna cut it. You gotta put actual effort into your commentary videos to get somewhere, and obviously Tipster is just refusing to put in the slightest bit of work. So on top of his increasingly deranged takes, his blatant refusal of improving the quality of his content led to the predictable decline decline of his viewership. I mean, it's no wonder that he's saying his interest in creating content has dwindled over the past years. Mine would too if I created the same type of videos every single day for over 18 years. This is exactly why his channel was doomed to fail from the start, by the way, because he just refused to innovate, and his idea of refreshing content was just releasing the same low effort video but just talking about a different subject. Like literally he's just part of these lazy YouTubers who fell off through sheer refusal to do any actual work. I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who supported me throughout this journey. Your support is genuinely appreciated. If you'd like to stay connected, I've been doing casual streams on Twitch, just playing games and hanging out with my chat. So be sure to follow me there if you are interested. You can also follow me on social media. I'll provide the links to these below. Thank you all once again for your time and support. It's been an honor to create content for you all over the years. Tippy. Now that's it. Tipster has officially given up on making YouTube videos forever. Or at least that's what he wants you to think. Me personally, I think he's going to come straight back to YouTube after a few months. Now here's why. Tipster has an extensive history of quitting the commentary community or quitting YouTube or quitting Twitter, and he never actually follows through on it. He has announced his retirement from social media a bunch of times already, but he keeps crawling back. Most recently he had declared that he would no longer be using Twitter because it's been under Nazi control following Elon Musk's takeover. He shared his sentiment with this tweet right here: officially deleted my Twitter, no more supporting the Nazi app, fuck Elon Musk. Now the left-wing pandering aside, this seems to be a rather strong and clear statement. He won't be on Twitter anymore because it's become a Nazi app. Now he posted this in February, and just 1 month later he's already back on Twitter again, tweeting every single day, and he even got himself verified. So he's giving money to people he himself considers to be Nazis. Now the reason for Tipster following this pattern of behavior is simple. Tipster is addicted to a lot of things. For the longest time he's been severely addicted to food, alcohol, video games, but most importantly, social media. This guy is the type of internet dweller that has absolutely nothing going on in his life other than his internet existence. He's the quintessential lonely overweight guy stuck in front of his computer all day. So even if he genuinely wanted to leave the internet, he keeps crawling back because he just has nothing else, which is kind of sad because this guy is married after all. I mean, I do actually believe that every time he announces that he's leaving, he genuinely believes it and really wants to just leave YouTube behind, because he's self-aware enough to understand that there's no way for his online career to ever recover. But it seems like every time he disappears, his desire for attention on the internet and the loneliness of the rest of his life eventually gets the better of him, so he keeps coming back and the cycle is doomed to repeat itself over and over again. I truly want this guy to just leave and start living an actual life. You know, kind of like another person we covered on this channel. So I hope I am genuinely wrong here and Tipster just taps out and stays off the internet, but I personally believe there's absolutely no way that this guy can disappear from social media for more than like at most 3 months. I know he claims that he beat his alcohol addiction, which is great for him if true, because him posting his drinking habits really led to people not taking his opinion seriously, but I just believe that he will never be able to beat his food or his internet addiction and will remain a commentary lolcow forever. Like, he has broken his audience's trust so many times before that I just can't believe that he's actually going to stay away. And from the bottom of my heart, I really hope I am wrong here. I would much rather have him be gone than to see him embarrass himself on the internet every single week, but the way I see it right now, expect to welcome Tipster back to the commentary community with yet another god-awful lowly defense video in like 2 months. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you in the next one.